For me, Spider-Man games were always divided into two subgenres. Those that have open world, allowing you to freely use your powers and look cool, and those that don't matter. I'm sorry, ᵏⁱⁿᵈᵃ. So you might understand me being jealous of console players when I was watching the first gameplay trailer of Spider-Man for PS4, realizing that just like with Infamous Second Son, this will be a game I won't experience until I chill out into treating myself with something nice. So basically never. But fortunately, for some reason, Sony has been bringing their exclusives to PC, granting PC nerds like me a chance to experience New York again, but this time with better graphics and new web swinging mechanics. Thereby granting an opportunity to give an ultimate answer on whether or not Insomniac Spider-Man is the best web swinging experience out of all Spider-Man video games. And having completed the game twice, getting all of the achievements and getting a secret t-shirt custom unlocked, I feel competent in saying, not really. Well, at least not for me, and in this video I'll try not so much explaining why it is, than exploring why I feel this way. And let me start with fundamentals. Take a look at these 3 short videos and see if you can spot one significant difference. Did you catch that? You see, in Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man Web of Shadows, I used mouse click to shoot a web, but in Insomniac's I needed to press shift. But you didn't see that, did you? I wonder why. Probably because you're stupid. Probably as stupid as the person who designed these controls. I mean, it's either that or they were making Prototype 3 and turned it into a Spider-Man game midway. But when I play Spider-Man, I wanna feel as Spider-Man, not as Alex Mercer. Just look at this button. Look at this right mouse click staring at Insomniac Spider-Man and begging to be dominated by player's hand in order to shoot that sweet white fluid. It's as natural as spacebar to jump and shift to run. Think about this, right? Spider-Man releases his web by pressing this button on his gadget, on his wrist. And he does it with which finger? With his middle and ring fingers, right? And now tell me, which finger do you press the shift button with? I bet it's your pinky, okay? And now, with which finger do you press your right mouse button? Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. Well, why won't you just rebound the controls? Because they tied running and web swinging into one action, and making players choose between shift to run and web swing, and right mouse click to web swing and run, it's like forcing a mother to give one of her children at a gunpoint. Right mouse click button is tied to aiming instead, and I'm sure plenty of you think, oh, that makes sense. Why wouldn't it? Right mouse button is aiming. You can't deny that, right? Well, you see, in thinking that, you are making a crucial mistake of seeing a single green tree, but not the burning forest. What the fuck are these controls?
Are you serious?
Seriously, as a side note, let's start with F. In Batman Arkham series, F was the zipline button. Why is it C here? While in Web of Shadows, Web Strike was C, and here it's F. So let's swap those out. Dodge is control, like, you know what game has had the control for dodging? Matrix Path of Neo, ladies and gentlemen. And I would have understood that if right mouse button was tied to something meaningful, but instead it's aiming, which is used mostly in story missions or to place web traps, and both don't occur that often. Using it in combat is impossible because it's buggy. Okay, it looks like they fixed it in the last update. Anyway, let's make dodging the right mouse button, just like in, all other Arkham fighting style video games. Aiming could be one of those additional mouse buttons if you have that. Or it can be, well, control or caps lock. I don't know why everybody pretends you don't exist, caps. There is no reason whatsoever why walking and air trick mode couldn't have been a single button. So let's do just that and tie them both to Alt. Bonding 1, 2 and 3 to special moves and suit actions make those pop-ups look awkward, and those actions could have easily been tied to other buttons. So let's make H to heal, R for a special suit ability, and whatever button you want for a finisher, for example X, because there is no reason why dive move and finisher cannot be the same button. During air combat, finisher move has a higher priority than dive, so you'll practically never be in a situation where you want to do one thing and Peter does another. Let's do M for map instead of tap. I think for any gamer M just feels more natural, and tap seems like a better fit for the equip camera button. I think I can stop here, but I just want to say that if we could select gadgets with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or better yet, use them as a quick action similar to Arkham series, it would have been better than relying on a mouse scroll. Because looking at this tiny little select window in the upper corner in the middle of combat, where all icons are a mixture of white, makes selecting the gadget you want harder unless you use this pop-up wheel. That for me is always kind of feels like it's breaking the flow of the combat a little bit. Okay, side note is over, now back to the web swinging. Or rather to... running? Running in this game not only fulfills the role of running and web swinging, but it also does jumping and wall running, and what it leads to is the absence of conscious player control. In Web of Shadows I can run, jump, climb walls, parkour, all without accidentally firing a web. But here, dude, first of all, just look at this jump.
All units be advised, commercial robbery in progress.
Bruh, that's weak. And that's too much.
Response at Union Square.
Also, I can't be the only one annoyed by this air he creates. If you want to get anywhere in this game, you need to hold shift. That's just how it's meant to be. You don't need to press dedicated wall climbing button or dedicated jump button or dedicated web swinging button. It's just the move button, and it's mindless in a not fun kind of way. If you want to just parkour on rooftops of New York without using your webs, like for example maybe you're playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mod for PC.
I'm also going to try my best not to use too many web powers, too many web abilities when I'm free roaming with these characters. We're going to try and just go around and do some parkour, you know. Space Dasher, few shoutouts again. Okay, I guess Mikey can web swing. You didn't see that, okay? You didn't see that.
Then parkour on rooftops turns into this mini game of releasing shift just in time to not accidentally fire a web, or your enjoyment will be ruined. Speaking of not having dedicated wall crawling button, it leads to you not being able to start crawling in a downwards direction. The best thing you can do, and it took me some time to figure this out, I confess, is to jump, turn on the aiming mode in the air, aim to a building you just jumped from, and then web zip to it. Now you are on the wall. Except it looked stupid and broke the flow of parkour because you need to enter this slow motion aiming mode. Awesome. Meanwhile, in previous games, pop, 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 pop. Easy as that. Now let's talk about the web swinging part of the web swinging experience, because up until now we only talked about initiation and how important consent is and shit. What is wrong with web swinging once you finally up in the air? Well, it's slow. There is no apparent speed build-up. Every time you fire a web, it feels like you're dropping all momentum from the previous swing. This shtick is just slow, and it really feels that way, at least until you increase the FOV, it really does help to hide it, but it doesn't change the fact. If you look at standard moves of Web of Shadows and Ultimate Spider-Man, they look more impressive than any of the air quotes tricks you can pull off here. Even tricks from Spider-Man 3 look better. And sure, this Spider-Man has been doing this shtick for like 8 years or so, so maybe he's truly sees it as more of a means of transportation than of self-expression, but I feel like even a person who rides skateboard to work every day would want to pull off like some pop shove it from time to time, you know what I'm saying? It looks like they improved upon it a lot in Miles Morales, but I can't know, so moving on. Actually, you know what? While filming footage for this video, I kind of saw the appeal of air tricks. Like, if you really decide to use them a lot after each swing, then they are kind of fun. But then, why is this XP bar shows up every time you do a trick? Dude, I don't need to see how +2 experience points affect my progress. Go away! Let me turn this off, please. Hey, check out this wall. Let me climb it real quick. Okay, maybe not so quick.
Confused, but he got the spirit.
Also, I understand complexity of geometry being far more advanced in comparison to previous games, but there is just so much obstacles. You telling me a famous wall crawler cannot climb over this? Man, that is truly annoying. It seems like this fella carved out only to climb flat ceilings in story missions. Is that why there is no dedicated wall crawling button? Are you not supposed to attach to walls in this game? And check out how much time it takes for Spider-Man to pull himself up. It breaks all flow. And don't even think about crawling in downward direction, or you'll see this. Why this animation sucks so much? Check out Ultimate, Web of Shadows. We already figured it out. Look at him here, he looks like a spider grandpa. But hey, you don't want to wall climb, do you? You want to wall run. There is no issues with that. Except, except how stupid it looks. Even Amazing Spider-Man the movie tie-in video game had Spider-Man pull himself forward with webs from time to time. In other games you would lose momentum, and it's fun because you might need to jump from building to building because of that, or combine web swinging with wall running. But here, is everyone else just completely fine with Spider-Man running walls like he's a blue hedgehog man? Yeah, sure, you can shoot webs if you want, just to maintain the illusion, I guess. Like, it doesn't even appear to be faster than running. Now, just for a second, let's see some Web of Shadows footage again. In Web of Shadows, you could just stop and chill at any place by holding the jump button or the wall climbing button. Spider-Man could attach to whatever surface or thing is in front of him and take a break, which is, again, it's just nice. Insomniac's New York is so beautiful and full of details. I missed this ability. And yes, I do understand that it's a completely different game and a completely different engine. I still want it, alright? In other things that I want, where is my double jump? There is air combat in this game, but no double jump? No jump cancel? No pulling yourself up in the air with two webs? Come on, this is ridiculous.
Jump and then jump again. Sure, it breaks the laws of physics, but so do most things I do. It's me, the amazing jumping man, the spectacular leaping dude.
Also, why do I need to hold shift to jump higher? Just let me hold space. It is not used for anything else. You're adding unnecessary extra steps to this equation. Speaking of jumping, doing this when getting into a lap is embarrassing. Give me some slick jump animations. I'm talking Web of Shadows again. Look at this. Pow! Now, pow! And now, voila! Imagine if we had that. Or imagine if all pedestrians did not fall to the ground in fear when they see you. Like, come on, I'm not Batman, and this looks so ridiculous. He's been here for 8 years. And can I at least sometimes swing in silence? Main theme of this game definitely overstates its welcome. It's there in the menu during important story bits, and during web swinging. Also, the Q is so hilariously obvious that it's painful. Let's take a look at Web of Shadows. There was this one really immersive feature where if you start swinging really fast, you will hear Peter's heavy breathing under a mask, and it's just so cool and immersive. And finally, something that goes back to my first point, there is no fall damage, no accidentally hitting a wall, there is no losing your momentum because there isn't any momentum, there is no releasing the web too early or too soon. Oh, even more, if you won't release it yourself, the game will release it for you. So remember when you could attach to a building and make yourself go... Yeah, you can't do that here. The whole web swinging experience is on the rails, which is great. Any kid can enjoy it, and though the rails are pretty goddamn good, considering I played the game twice and never used fast travel, it's just not the ultimate web swinging experience that I was longing for. So basically, all I'm saying is, bring us Web of Shadows 2, or make Prototype 3. Better both.